I just got done watching a video from Iyanla Fix My Life. Um, it was about DMX, and a friend of mine reached out and told me that he was spiraling out of control with his drug addiction. And this is a friend that I truly care for. And I never knew, like, he was spiraling out of control. I knew that he was doing drugs, but I didn't know, like, it was to the point where he wanted to check himself into an inpatient rehab because it's that bad. He's always been a very seemingly strong person. But watching this video about DMX, Iyanla asked him some questions. She said, "Do you want to live as a clean man?" And basically, he doesn't. Like, there are certain intoxicants that he does, that he's comfortable with. And it's weed and alcohol. And most people are okay with weed and alcohol because, for one, alcohol is legal. And for two, weed is damn near legal everywhere, but it's legal in a lot of places. And because these things are legal, we don't think about what it does to our bodies. You know, one drink is all right. A little puff here and there is all right, just for the relaxation of it, you know. But when these things get into our body, they change how we feel. So we do the drugs to change how we feel. That's not okay. You know, every now and then, if you just want to relax, sure. But if you're trying to escape life's pains, you know, if you don't want to feel what you're feeling and you use drugs and alcohol as an escape, then it becomes dangerous. You know, and then you spiral out of control. That's why you see people who may have at one time been okay, you know, had the good job, making good money, nice car, nice crib. But then one day you see them and they're destitute. It's because you have given your feelings over to a numbing agent, you know? And when you run from your feelings constantly, there's no more ability to feel other things. Like, you may be running from the grief you feel from a lost loved one. You may be running from guilt. You may be running from shame. And you may be using this numbing agent as a means to not feel those feelings that are uncomfortable. But when you numb all the time, you also numb the feeling of ambition. You lose your ambition. That's a feeling. You lose love. That's a feeling. You lose self-respect. That's a feeling. These numbing agents stop you from feeling everything. So yeah, you're no longer hurting from the pain of sadness and grief and loss and sorrow, shame, guilt, pity on yourself. Yeah, you don't feel those things, but you also don't feel the positive things either. So then your life spirals out of control. The solution, feel it and change what you're doing so that you can begin to feel those things that are comfortable and not the things that aren't. If you've done bad things, just feel the effects of the bad things and start doing good things. And eventually the feeling of the good things will take over. That's common sense, right? But although we know these things, we don't always do these things because our focus is extremely focused on the bad feelings. Instead, we should put extreme focus on the good feelings. Ambition. Get extremely focused on that. The shame and the guilt won't go away, and you'll still have moments where your thoughts wander off to, damn, I miss this person, or damn, I feel so bad about what I did. But then you just intentionally change your thought process and be like, well, I can't think about that. That's not running from the problem. That's not ignoring the problem. That's actually dealing with the problem. How do you make things better? You think better. You know? Forgive yourself and then move on. A lot of people say, well, I got to deal with it. Dealing with it doesn't mean you stay in the feeling. You deal with your actions. You don't deal with your feelings. Your feelings come from action. You know? Well, the strength of your feelings come from actions. You may be ambitious, but until you do something with your ambition will wane or plateau. If you want to make your ambition stronger, start doing what you're ambitious to do. If you want to make your love stronger, start doing what you love. You know what I mean? If you love somebody, don't treat them bad. Treat them good, because then the love grows. You treat them bad, the love dies. You know, if you feel joy, do things that make you laugh, because then the joy grows. If you don't do things that make you laugh or make you feel good, then the joy dies. You know, feelings are going to be there, but what's stronger? What feeling wins? It's all based on what you do. You just gotta be better. Gotta do better things. Force yourself to think better. That's what I do. I have fucked up thoughts all the time. You know, I spent almost a total of 10 years of my life in prison because I was so driven on the negative. And when I couldn't seem to find my way out of it, I didn't realize it was something as simple as a thought, changing a thought. I didn't know it was that simple. I thought I needed some miracle of life to come along and drop in my lap and make things better, when it all was here. All along, it was really, really simple, right? And that allowed me to, I'm not going to say take control of my addiction, but it allowed me to take control of my mind. You know, I did drugs. I smoked crack. I did. And I've done cocaine. I've done pills. I drink. I still have a beer here and there. And don't get me wrong, I have slipped up and done crack through the years again. I have slipped up and did coke. I've done rock cocaine. I mean, I've done it all. I've slipped. But when I slip, I intentionally change my thought process and go back to what I really want. I don't sit in shame. I don't sit in guilt, because those things don't build my life that I'm trying to build. You know, fucking up and doing bad things is like taking a few bricks off of what you've already built. But if you stay there, then you continue to take bricks off. Don't stay there. Just put them bricks back, you know, and then put some more bricks and some more bricks and some more bricks. And eventually one day that house will be built. You see what I'm saying? But with that being said, I had a conversation with my daddy yesterday. And I lets my daddy ramble. He rambles. He'll call me and just have a random story. He feels good about himself. You know, he been clean for a while, and it makes him feel good to know that he ain't one of them dudes at the liquor store that's sitting outside the liquor store waiting to ask somebody for 50 cents, $2. But in the midst of him feeling good about himself and calling me to tell me about it, because that's what he do. If my daddy calling me, I know he done had a few drinks, and he's calling me to feel good about himself and let me know that he proud of me too. But yesterday he said something. He said what he's probably always meant to say in these calls, but he never said it straight out. But yesterday he said, Mike, I ain't never been no bum. He said, I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna hustle. And I said, yeah. And he was like, you ain't never been no bum, nigga. I said, no, never. He said, and I appreciate that. Yeah. He said, I appreciate that. And I got what he meant in that moment. He mean, because my daddy know my struggles. My patterns of life, the way I've lived, are very similar to my daddy's. You know, he's done time in the penitentiary. I've done time in the penitentiary. He used to steal. He was a thief. I used to steal. I was a thief. He smoked crack for many years. I smoked crack for many years. He drinks too much. I drink too much. But we're both approaching a stage in our life at the same time where we're trying to do better. You know, he got the best car he's ever had. He clean. He got a job. He got his side hustle. He keeps money in his pocket. And yesterday, it made me feel good in that moment because what we do is a reflection of our parents. And even though he has spent years making himself look bad in these streets, I guess is what he's saying, when he was doing drugs and stuff, I've never made him look bad, even when I was doing what I was doing. Because when people see you out here doing shit fucked up, they blame your parents. And I've never been on the streets begging, and I never let this stuff get me to a place. Yeah, I've done some fucked up shit, but you could never look at me and say, he got a problem. You could never look at me and say, he was homeless. You could never look at me and know what I was going through. And it's because my daddy taught me that it ain't what you're going through, it's how you treat yourself. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. You know, I used to laugh at my daddy because he had all them pallets on the back of his truck. But my daddy making $200-300 every day. While y'all laughing, he laughing to the bank. And he got a regular job. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I wonder where your money go. But I bet my daddy's saving. He got a stash. You know? When I got the car that I had before this car, when I had my Altima, it was a Filer Altima too. I called my daddy and told him I was short on the down payment. He was like, how short are you? I was like, $300. He was like, go to Western Union, I'm seeing $300. My daddy ain't never did nothing for me, man. But anyway, so we had that conversation. He was like, he was proud of me, right? And I was like, that's what's up. And I got what he meant. So with that being said, this is 20 years of penitentiary, drug addiction, homelessness, you know, STDs, you know. It's 20 years. 20 years of it. And if I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, we fuck up, but you keep going. You don't sit in shame and guilt because that makes it stronger. You don't sit in depression because that makes it stronger. You begin to eat well, get plenty of water, go outside, stretch your legs, you know, enjoy life, and do what you gotta do. If you need somebody else to be over your money, don't feel like that makes you less of a person. Just feel the truth. The truth is that makes you an addict that's spiraling out of control. And you need help. Don't be scared to ask for help, man. Not all of us are as strong as the next person. Just because the next person might have a handle on some shit don't mean that you're gonna have that same handle. We are different people. We have different experiences. You know, you might be strong academically and this person is strong in the streets. Don't hit them streets thinking that you got it together. You ain't never been there. You know? Go on back to corporate America where you belong, buddy. Leave this shit alone. It's killing you. You know? Go on back to wherever you fit. If it doesn't fit, then you need to quit. Period. You know, we don't need to let our system education make us believe that we are smarter than ourselves. You know, if yourself is weak to a drug, just because you have certain degrees or certain accolades doesn't mean that you're smarter than your weakness. If you're weak, you're weak. And you just gotta get help for it. As long as you deny what you're weak against, you never win. Ain't no amount of rehab gonna help. I done been through so many rehabs. And as soon as the rehab was over, I went and got high. Because it's not about what the next person tell you to do. It's not about the program they put you on. It ain't about them 12 steps. Them 12 steps may help. But if you don't make the decision or if you don't admit that you need help, then you can do them 12 steps all motherfucking day to appease that program. But the minute you say, fuck it, I'm gonna do what I wanna do, you gonna go get high. So instead of thinking that you're gonna depend on this program to save you, you have to change what you want to do. That's how you do it, baby. That's how you do it, man. You got to change what you want to do so that when you decide to say, hey, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, what you want to do will not be what you're weak to. Hey, come on, somebody, man. Whew. That's a man. A man controls his want to. Don't do something and say, well, it's what I wanted to do. Because if it's what you wanted to do, you wouldn't feel guilt, shame, depression, sadness, sorrow, pity on yourself. Nobody wants those feelings. So what you want to do is to provide joy and happiness, love, all of those things. You know what I mean? Get focused. I'm not gonna say get focused. Intentionally change your focus in the moment. That's how you survive. Real talk. Real talk. Hashtag Jaytalking, man. I just had to get it out of me.